All right, so this is one of the interviews I've been looking forward to the most. I'm here with a guy I really like a lot and an influencer in the certification space in a big way. I'm here with Narbik Kocharians.
How you doing?
I'm great. So I'm just going to take a little of your time up with some questions around, certification stuff, obviously. So CCIE, what is getting a CCIE in routing and switching is your world? Well, it's not just, is it just route and switch or?
We do others,
Okay.
but route switch is what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for a career path?
Well, if 10 to 20 people, attend for a position, just apply for a position, and let's say they all have identical experience. If one of them has a CCIE, I will definitely hire the guy that has the CCIE over the others. Now, some people say, why? The reason I would hire the CCIE, because when you have a CCIE, you're telling me that you're serious in your business. Secondly, having a CCIE means you're creative. For example, let me give you a weird example.
Sure.
Let's say we have a Phillips head screw and we want to unscrew this Phillips head screw, but I don't give you a Phillips screwdriver. A non-CCIE would probably say, hey, I don't know how to do this. You have to give me a Phillips screwdriver. Whereas a CCIE will reach in his pocket and say, hey, do I have a loose change? So if I have a loose change, I can use the coins to turn the screw. I'll use that.
Yeah.
So a CCIE can get really creative, whereas, because, throughout their journey, they've learned and they had an exposure of doing 007 labs, ninja-style labs, and things of that nature. So that would be the only reason I would hire a CCIE versus a non-CCIE with identical experience.
So we're involved with expert level training. We know about it, and I know you're deeply involved with it, and you do boot camps as well. So tell us about your role in expert level training and the boot camps.
We have a team of experts in Cisco, such as Bruce Kazlaw, Val Pavlichenko. These guys are old-timers, and they're truly expert in what they do. And what they do is they provide us with books, with lab books, and recently they've added so many nice labs, and I mean seriously decent labs. They have labs for diagnostic section of the lab, they have labs for troubleshooting, and they have labs for configuration. But as a Cisco Learning partner, you have to understand that these labs are not enough for a student to pass the lab. So what I did was I added 4,000 pages of labs to what they normally get attending one of these authorized training. Okay. And so that enhances their knowledge and stuff like that. But it's not only what we give the students, it's the way you teach the material. There are two ways basically to do it. Use PowerPoint, which is against my religion. And when you use PowerPoint, you're not really teaching, you're covering the material. That's all you're doing. Versus getting on the board, chalk talk, 10, 12, 14, 20 hours a day. Now you're teaching. So that's what we're doing. So it's not only expert level training. Expert level training, I believe it's one of the best things that has happened in CCIE routing and switching. But you as a learning partner, you have to take that next step. Take what they gave you and enhance and add your flavor to what they normally give.
Yep, and a lot of people taking your. Do you have any idea how many people have gone through your boot camps or?
A lot.
Yeah, I know. I see your name. We see your name on Cisco Learning Network constantly, and you on there as well. So
Cisco Learning Networks, honestly, it's something that you as a CCIE candidate need to join. This is a must-join forum. Now, I have my own forum, but I don't care about my own forum because, to be honest with you, you have to be honest with your candidates. Cisco Learning Network forum is phenomenal. Why? And we just recently added the challenges.
Yeah, you guys are on there.
Yeah. And now we're going to add, I'm going to up it, and I'm going to introduce the next level challenges in CLN because we really want people to learn in that forum and pass the lab. I highly recommend CLN to everyone.
Wonderful. I won't say anything
Negative
on top of it. No, not at all. Not at all.
No, that's an honest.
Yeah,
my
no,
honest opinion. I'm a very straight shooter.
Yeah. So last question, you are the author of the official cert guide for CCIE Route and Switch, and I get asked, you've probably seen questions, are you working on any revisions for the book? Where are we at with that?
Well, version 5.1 for written
Yeah.
just was released.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I really didn't have time to participate in that book. And the reason is, for last, I would say, 16 months, I've co-authored the OCG for CCIE routing and switching. 1,400 pages over there. I wrote my own book, 2,500 pages of advanced CCIE routing and switching lab. This is protocol-specific lab. I wrote 875 pages of foundation book. Once again, protocol-specific labs, and all of them are in full color. I wrote 600 pages of troubleshooting labs. I co-authored many other books and tech-edited many other books. And on top of that, I've taught roughly around 30 or 40 boot camps.
Yeah.
And as you and I know, we need to sleep, we need to eat, and sometimes. So I really didn't have time to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would have loved to, but right now I'm very excited because I'm writing a new book for Cisco Press. I think this book is a must book for CCNP candidates that want to take the next step. Because when you look at the CCNA curriculum, it actually leads you to CCNP.
That's right.
But when you look at the CCNP, it doesn't lead you to CCIE. There's a huge gap.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do in that new book, it's a Cisco Press book. It's full of labs. It covers the gap between CCNP and CCIE. So it takes you from CCNP level to the CCIE doorstep. So now you can take a boot camp and pass the lab.
That'll be awesome.
And it's 1,000 pages, by the way.
Oh, right on. Narbik.
It's a pleasure,
I know.
Brett. It's a pleasure to be with you, man.
Thanks, everybody.